Hey, and welcome to this presentation. This is a YouTube video, a video stream. It's on a podcast, and it's from me on janragnerud.com. And yes, I am Jan Ragnerud. That's Scandinavian, and it's kind of translated into good old USA here and English worldwide. And interestingly enough, this idea of selling more is just, pervasive, right? I mean, go to any business and ask if they want to sell more. Yes, that's going to be absolutely a confirmed yes. But we know that the sales cycle is complex, and it doesn't matter if you're selling shoes, socks, or airplane parts. Different cycles, obviously, here in sort of intensity, length of close to a sale. But it really is all about sales, isn't it, right? Marketing and sales, we love it. If you're listening to this presentation, you must love marketing and sales. And I cover a lot of marketing aspects. Today we're going to use marketing, but really think about how to sell more to non-buyers. And here's a profound thought for you as we dig in today. The sale doesn't start until they say no. Think about that. The sale doesn't start until they say no. I forget where I heard that. It is just absolutely profound. It's serious. It's really a very deep thought. And so you're thinking, okay, I like it. But what does that truly mean? Well, to me, it's sort of translated this way. How do you sell more so you can grow your business faster, right? Well, there's many ways to do this, and I'm going to propose here today that we kind of take a look at Chet Holmes and what he presented in his book. I forget the name of the book right now, but just search for Chet Holmes, and it's a sales book that he wrote that's very sort of infamous, I guess. But here he talks about the different type of buyers, and this makes a world of sense if you think about it. It's kind of like a ladder and a hierarchical set of tiers here, where you see at the bottom you have the folks who are definitely not interested in buying anything from you. So that's 30%. As we move up the tier, 30% are saying they're thinking they're not interested. So you can clearly see that this is something that could be worked on. 30% is saying not thinking about it. 6% is open to it, and 3% is buying now. So if you think about this, it's 96%. Kind of back to that profound thought of the sale doesn't start until somebody says no, or till the no answer happens. Well, that's the 96%, and it happens most of the time. You know this, frustrating as it can be. Most people will not buy your stuff. So 96 and 9 and 3, I realize that should be a 4, right? Because essentially we're talking about 100%. So the obvious first small percentage that say yes, you get them, you take them, you sell to them, but you're stressing over the 96%. So let's think about this, and let me show you how you tie this together with Facebook advertising. And you've heard this before, different variations of this, but the idea that there's 7 to 12 touch points before buying is most likely true, but it's also it depends. Each market is different, each stage of the sales cycle is different, but if you're presenting a new idea or a product or a service to somebody who's cold, you're not going to sell on the first one. We covered that. The idea that you need to build touch points along the way is obvious, and hopefully you've done that. And if I can sort of extract this out to 3 areas of concern for you, or focus areas, it is number 1, attraction. The idea that you have metrics that support attraction, that essentially describe attraction. So anything that comes in from the front end of your funnel, clicks, paid ads, search traffic, social media, etc., and that moves into level 2. Which is engagement. How do you get them to take action in terms of liking, sharing, commenting, perhaps requesting a white paper, etc. And the third one here is conversion, and conversions where you actually turn them into a sale and you're growing your business. So here's an example of kind of just drawn out here on a whiteboard, this behavior-specific messaging. And this really talks about engagement and conversion kind of on the back end. And Here you can see on the left side we have a website form, kind of the starting ground. We send out an introduction email. There's a time delay. We segment the email by likes, and here in this case we have, hey, do you like red or do you like blue? And based on the answers or the clicks there, they might go straight to a free download of sorts. Maybe the ones who like reds also get a specific follow-up email and message to move in through a buy cycle. The ones that like blue, they are shifted out to a different segment. They might come back a little bit later and sort of co-join the effort. And then, you know, one type of person hits the checkout and gets a post-sale nurture sequence. Somebody who doesn't do that is the opposite. They go to the cart, but they abandon. The abandonment rate are the no guys, right? No guys and girls. And so that's where you send them emails and assign a salesperson for follow-up, etc. Different ways to do this, but a very quick structure here to talk about behavioral kind of mechanics of how you could present messages. And that's in the back end. Now, we use Infusionsoft, Marketo, Salesforce, and this is just a quick screenshot of one of the campaigns here that talks about kind of various traffic elements from PPC ads to Facebook on the left side, and pushes you through to you know, kind of get people to enter an event sequence because you want them to sign up for your event. So what I'm suggesting here today is that you work on engagement and conversions, because that's where you're going to talk to the 96% of the folks who say no. And of course, you've heard this before on my presentations. You want to target the right people with the right message and the right media. So if you have discovered that you have your audience clearly defined, that you have a message that speaks to them, and that you presented that in the right media, so that could be LinkedIn for B2B, or Facebook, of course, is both B2B and B2C. Maybe you're using a combination of things here, Twitter as well, AdWords, you know, YouTube. All of that really needs to tie into the timing, right? And the timing is not just a one and done. It's, as you know, a sequence of events that happens and is presented over time, and hopefully at the right time so they can buy. Now, what we're doing here for Facebook is we're utilizing something called custom audiences. And if you've been following this blog and these presentations lately, talk a lot about Facebook, and there's a reason for that. We're doing a push for Facebook right now. That's one of the things we do here at the agency. But the idea is that you can do a lot of this yourself, right? And here, custom audiences. You can build those in many different ways, and there's actually 3 different ways, and one of the ways is to create a retargeting mechanism by offering messages back to your website visitors. So if you have 1,000 visitors a day coming to your website and you place this Facebook pixel, as it's called, on your pages, you can essentially present messages back to them. You've created the first touch point, and Facebook will allow you to create multiple touch points as you retarget them. And when you think about this, and by the way, before I continue, this is just a quick screenshot of the Facebook pixel code. Talked a little bit about this, but you can segment this in different ways. You might have a sort of a global way in which you're presenting this to multiple pages across your website. Maybe you're segmenting this a little bit later to only apply to your shopping cart or to abandonment. Very interesting the way that you can segment this to have a generic message for sort of a global set of pages, if you will, and then as you start to drill down into a shopping cart sequence, you can present messages in a retargeting manner that's very specific to that solution. Just as an idea, if somebody had added to the cart and they're checking out and everything looks good, but they're abandoning at the last minute, you can track that using the Facebook pixel, and you can essentially, for that percentage of people who came through, present a message back to them that allows them to come back. And you can even send them right back to that page where they exited, right? Very, very powerful, very user-friendly, very targeted and relevant. Targeting and relevancy, you hear a lot about that in marketing. It makes a world of sense. If you're driving down the freeway and you're seeing a billboard that doesn't, first of all, you're probably not going to see it, right? It's the banner blindness as we see online. But your billboard, you may not see it. If you did see it and it talks about fishing and you hate fishing, you're going to not even consider it, right? It's the wrong message to the wrong person. But the idea is with all of this is that you want to present multiple touch points along the way, and with Facebook pixels and retargeting, you can present your targeted ads to encourage re-engagement. That's the key here, to get those non-buyers to re-engage with you. And you invite them back to landing pages, special offers, downloads, trials. You might be in the software business, right? Software trials are great. And build follow-up sequences, as we talked about before, where you actually nurture that relationship and really add value and educational-based materials, and seriously just be helpful to, build buyer bias, as it's called. It's trust and relationships. You want to do that. And for Facebook, you can do this from 30 days up to 180 days for that Facebook pixel. So you have a lot of time here to build this. So I encourage you to take a look at this. Look at the retargeting, start out with sort of a global aspect of this, and think about segmentation later. But the idea is you want to make sure that you engage with retargeting and track your conversions and your engagement metrics, and A/B test. That's basically ad A against ad B, and the same with landing pages. Ad A, or landing page A rather, and landing page B, test them and make sure that that message speaks to your audience. And really, from my website today, janragnerud.com, this has been a very short presentation, but I'm very excited about this because truly so many businesses that we come across and that I speak to do not know about this very strategic tip and a very insightful strategy that you can use for your business to grow sales and ultimately sell to the 96% that are non-buyers using Facebook ads. So again, I want to thank you for your time here today. Thank you for your listening. If you like this, please share with your friends in your network. Of course, like to get the message out there. And this is Jan Ragnerud from JONROGNERUD.com, janragnerud.com. And I want to wish you a happy day, a happy good morning, and a happy good night, in that order, okay? And thank you again for your time. Talk soon.